Mark Zuckerberg is one of the world's youngest billionaires and the co-founder and CEO of social networking website Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg's background. From his Harvard University dorm room, Mark Zuckerberg co-founded the social networking website Facebook. Zuckerberg dropped out of college after his second year to focus on the site, which now has a user base of over 2 billion people, making him a multi-billionaire. The Social Network, a 2010 film, depicted the development of Facebook. Early years. Zuckerberg was born in White Plains, New York on May 14, 1984, to a wealthy and well-educated family. He grew up in Dobbs Ferry, a neighboring community. Edward Zuckerberg, Zuckerberg's father, maintained a dentistry practice in the family home. Karen, his mother, worked as a psychiatrist before the couple's 4 children, Mark, Randy, Donna, and Ariel, were born. Zuckerberg was fascinated by computers from an early age, and at the age of 12, he used Atari Basics to construct ZuckNet, a messaging application. His father utilized the application in his dentist practice so that the receptionist would not have to yell across the room to tell him of a new patient. ZuckNet was also used by the family to communicate within the house. He also built computer games purely for fun with his friends. "I had a lot of artist buddies," he explained. "They do come over and draw anything, and I do turn it into a game." Mark Zuckerberg's education. Zuckerberg's parents hired private computer teacher David Newman to come to the house once a week and work with him to keep up with his developing interest in computers. Later, Newman told reporters that keeping up with the prodigy, who began taking graduate courses nearby Mercy College at the time, was difficult. Later, Zuckerberg attended Phillips Exeter Academy, a prestigious preschool in New Hampshire. He excelled at fencing and was named captain of the school's squad. He also excelled in literature, receiving a classics diploma. Despite this, Zuckerberg remained enthralled by computers and continued to work on new software. He invented an early version of music program, Pandora, which he called Synapse, while still in high school. AOL and Microsoft, for example, have indicated interest in purchasing the program and recruiting the adolescent before graduation. He turned down the offers. The college years of Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg enrolled to Harvard University after graduating from Exeter in 2002. Zuckerberg dropped out of college after his second year to focus solely on his new startup, Facebook. He had established himself as the go-to software engineer on campus by his second year at the Ivy League school. At the time, he developed a program called CourseMatch, which assisted students in selecting classes based on the choices of other users. He also created FaceMatch, a website that compared the photos of 2 people on college and let viewers vote on which one was the most attractive. The program was quite popular, but the school administration decided to terminate it once it was deemed improper. 3 of his fellow students, Divya Narendra and twin Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, sought him to collaborate on a proposal for a social networking site they called Harvard Connection, based on the buzz of his past efforts. This site was created using data from Harvard student networks in order to develop a Harvard elite dating site. Zuckerberg agreed to assist with the initiative, but quickly left to focus on his own social networking site, Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg and founding Facebook. The Facebook was founded by Mark Zuckerberg and his associate Dustin Moskovitz, Chris Hughes, and Eduardo Saverin. It allowed users to establish their own profile, upload images, and chat with other users. Until June 2004, the site was run out of the dorm room of Harvard University. Zuckerberg dropped out of college that year and relocated his company to Palo Alto, California. Facebook had 1 million users by the end of 2004. Accel Partners, a venture finance firm, gave Zuckerberg's company a big boost in 2005. Accel put $12.7 million into the network, which was solely open to Ivy League students at the time. The site's membership grew to over 5.5 million users by December 2005. Thanks to Zuckerberg's company granting access to additional institutions, high schools, and overseas schools. Other businesses became interested in advertising on the famous social hub, and the site began to grab their attention. Zuckerberg turned down offers from Yahoo and MTV networks because he did not want to sell out. Instead, he focused on extending the site, allowing independent developers to work on it, and adding new features, legal obstacles, and the Harvard connection. Zuckerberg appeared to be on his way up. In 2006, however, the business magnate encountered his first major setback. The authors of Harvard Connection alleged that Zuckerberg had stolen their idea and demanded that the software developer compensate them for their losses. The concepts, according to Zuckerberg, are built on two quite distinct sorts of social networks. Incriminating instant messages discovered after lawyers reviewed Zuckerberg's record suggested that Zuckerberg may have stolen Harvard Connection's intellectual property and given Facebook users private information to his buddies. Zuckerberg later apologized and expressed regret for the incriminating messages. In an interview with The New Yorker, he remarked, "If you are going to go on to establish a service that is influential and that a lot of people rely on, then you need to be mature, right? I believe I have matured and learned a great deal." Although the two parties agreed an early settlement of $65 million, the court battle over the subject continued well into 2011, after Narendra and the Winklevoss claimed they were deceived about the value of their stock. The Social Network movie. The Social Network, written by Aaron Sorkin, was released in 2010. The critically praised picture was nominated for 8 Academy Awards. Sorkin's screenplay was based on Ben Mesrich's 2009 book, The Accidental Billionaires. Mesrich received a lot of flack for his retelling of Zuckerberg's biography, which included made-up scenes, reimagined dialogue, and made-up people. Zuckerberg was outspoken in his criticism of the film's plot, subsequently telling a reporter at The New Yorker that many of the elements were forced. Zuckerberg, for example, had been seeing his long-term partner since 2003. He also stated that he will never join any of the final clubs. "It's interesting what they focus on getting right," Zuckerberg said at a startup conference in 2010. "Every single garment and fleece that I had in the movie is actually a shirt or fleece that I possess. So there's a bunch of random details that they got right and a bunch of stuff that they got wrong." Despite the criticism, Zuckerberg and Facebook have continued to thrive. In 2010, he was named Person of the Year by Times Magazine, and he was ranked first on Vanity Fair's new establishment list. The initial public offering (IPO) of Facebook. Facebook's first public offering (IPO) in 2012 raised $16 billion, making it the largest internet IPO ever. The Facebook stock price fell slightly in the early days of trading after the initial success of the IPO, but Zuckerberg is expected to weather any ups and downs in his company's market performance. In 2013, Facebook was named to the Fortune 500 for the first time, making Zuckerberg the youngest CEO on the list at the age of 28. The Cambridge Analytica scandal and fake news. In the run-up to 2016 US presidential election, Zuckerberg was chastised for growth of fake news on his site. He announced a personal challenge in early 2018 to enhance techniques for shielding Facebook users against nation-state abuse and meddling. Prior personal challenges, including only eating meat he slaughtered himself and learning Mandarin, which he began in 2009. "We won't be able to prevent all errors or abuse, but we are currently making too many mistakes, enforcing our policies and preventing misuse of our technologies," he wrote on Facebook. "If we succeed this year, we will finish 2018 on a better footing." After it was found that Cambridge Analytica, a data business business with ties to President Donald Trump's 2016 campaign had utilized private information from around 87 million Facebook profiles without notifying their owners, Zuckerberg came under fire again a few months later. The ensuing uproar appeared to damage investors' faith in Facebook, with the company's stock plunging 15% after the revelation broke. Following a few days of silence, Zuckerberg appeared on a number of media channels to explain how Facebook was taking efforts to limit third-party developers' access to users' data and indicating he would be willing to testify before Congress. On March 25th, Facebook published full-page advertisements in 7 British and 3 American newspapers, written in the style of a personal apology from Zuckerberg. He vowed that the business will look into all of its apps and let users know which one they might disable. He wrote, "I'm sorry we did not do more at the time. I swear I will do better for you." With investor organizations increasingly calling for his resignation, Zuckerberg headed to Capitol Hill to meet with lawmakers ahead of his 2-day hearing on April 10 and 11. The first day of hearings with the Senate Commerce and Judicial Committee was rather low-key, with several senators appearing to be perplexed by the social media behemoth's economic model. The House Energy and Commerce Committee follow-up meeting was significantly more contentious, with lawmakers grilling Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg on privacy issues. During the day's hearing, Zuckerberg acknowledged that his personal data was among the data collected by Cambridge Analytica, and he hinted that the government regulation of Facebook and other social media companies was inevitable. Personal wealth. The negative publicity around the 2016 election and the Cambridge Analytica issue appears to have had minimal impact on the company's growth. On July 6, 2018, Facebook stock closed at a new high of $203.23. With the increase, Zuckerberg surpassed Warren Buffett, the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, to become the world's 3rd richest person, behind fellow tech titan Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. Following an earnings report that revealed a failure to archive revenue projections and sluggish user growth, Facebook share plunged 19% on July 26, wiping out any gains. In a single day, Zuckerberg's personal worth was reduced by about $16 billion. The stock has now recovered and Zuckerberg remains one of the richest persons on the planet. In 2019, Forbes placed Zuckerberg 8th among the world's billionaires. Facebook said in June 2019 that it would enter the cryptocurrency market with the launch of Libra in 2020. Mark Zuckerberg's donation and philanthropic causes. Zuckerberg has used his millions to sponsor a range of philanthropic initiatives since accumulating his large fortune. In September 2010, he donated $100 million to preserve the failing Newark public school system in New Jersey, which was one of the most noteworthy examples. Then, in December 2010, Zuckerberg signed the Giving Pledge, committing to contribute at least half of his fortune to charity during his lifetime. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and George Lucas are among the other Giving Pledge members. Following his gift, Zuckerberg encouraged other young, wealthy entrepreneurs to do the same. With a generation of younger people who have prospered because of the success of their businesses, there is a huge opportunity for many of us to give back early in our lives and witness the impact of our philanthropic efforts, he said. In an open letter to their daughters in November 2015, Zuckerberg and his wife also stated that they will donate 99% of their Facebook shares to charity. The pair said in an open letter on Zuckerberg's Facebook page, "We are determined to doing our modest parts to help create this world for all children. During our lives, we will give 99% of our Facebook shares, presently valued at $45 billion, to join many others in improving the world for future generations." Hi everyone, I hope you have enjoyed watching this video and I hope it has been informative. If you like this video and you'd like to see more content like this, kindly like this video, share with others, leave a comment in the comment section, and also kindly subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed yet. Thanks for watching to the end. Have a nice day and look out for the next video.